And welcome back to the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. We are going to be getting on a boat. Let me see if I can remember which one.
Captain Gallen does the business around here.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore.
What happened? Why won't you go back?
It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. That's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim.
Yes, you are. You're taking me back to Solstheim.
Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there.
You owe me. Those cultists you brought tried to kill me.
All right, you have a point. Taking you back to find out who sent them is the least I can do.
Thank you.
Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there. I owe them a bit of payback myself.
So here in Solstheim, we're not going to be staying long. We're going to be going, we're not going to be doing any of the Mirok stuff. I'm going to do a couple of quick errands here in Raven Rock, buying some, items and stuff. And I'm going to be going to meet the Enchanting trainer.
Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
Raven Rock discovered.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions.
None of your business.
That's the kind of attitude that's going to land you in prison. But I'll let it go for now. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws.
That's fine.
Any questions?
Nope.
Giollan, I was starting to wonder what happened to you.
Alright. Let's go talk to the blacksmith. This guy occasionally has some useful stuff to buy, but I think he's going to shove us with a quest first.
You haven't seen Crescius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again.
Why all this fuss over just a pickaxe?
No, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill pickaxe. I'm talking about an ancient Nordic pickaxe. They don't exactly grow on trees, you know.
Why can't you just get the guard to find him?
I prefer to handle these things on my own. Look, if you see Crescius, tell him to give me that pickaxe back, and I'll pay you for the trouble.
Alright. Now, let's see what you got
Take
for
a
sale.
look.
Yeah, this guy occasionally has, Stalrim armor and stuff like that. He's got a fair amount of good stuff, but really what I'm after is some of this chitin plate and netch leather, which can only be purchased out here.
You tell Crescius he better give that pickaxe back to me, or else.
Yeah, I will. Alright, so where we're going to be going is way out here. There's a guy out there who's a reclusive wizard off in a little, mushroom tower thing inside of a tree. And he's pretty useful. He's part of a few quests that we're not going to be doing right now. Grab some trauma root, I guess, while I'm at it. But he's also an enchanting trainer. The only other enchanting trainer I know about is in the College of Winterhold. And I'm not really doing any of the mage stuff. So this guy's the easiest to get to. And we'll start this.
Redoran, for honor.
Kill these ash spawn. It's a shame they don't count as undead. Come on. Yeah. Taste the Dawnbreaker.
Victory for the Redoran Guard.
That wasn't a victory for the Redoran Guard. It was a victory for the Dragonborn. And we'll read the Declaration of War.
Thanks. I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive.
What were those
I wish I
things?
could have said the same for my man here. Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them Ashspawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped.
How did that bring you to this old farm?
I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction.
I'd be glad to lend a hand.
Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind. And I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard.
Very well. Where do I begin?
We were searching the farm when the Ashspawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful.
I discovered this note on one of the Ashspawn.
This is strange. The note says it's from General Falks Carius. But that's impossible.
Why?
Well, Carius was the Imperial garrison commander at Fort Frostmoth. But he died over 200 years ago when the Red Mountain leveled the place. There's no way he could still be alive.
What do you want me to do?
If General Carius is still alive, there must be something keeping him that way. I need you to head out to Fort Frostmoth.
Excuse me.
And check it out. I'm going to head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults.
Okay.
Be careful. General Carius sounds out of his mind.
Well, I'm not going to be doing that right now. But it is good to have that quest queued up. Because that is where we get the Champion's Cudgel. It's a weapon with what I consider to be the best enchant in the game. And I just realized I'm not super well equipped to be fighting a lot of the stuff here. A lot of the mobs here have some pretty good resistance to fire damage. And my crossbow is all about fire damage. Right, I don't think that boat is going to do much for me. There's, I think there's a mining node up here that is going to be relevant in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to go grab that. Somewhere over here. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Worry about... Here we go. Heartstone. Heartstone is going to be important for some of the enchanting training I'm going to be doing later. And I don't think those things will attack me. Yeah, there's some more Heartstone. And I seem to recall there's going to be some, like, monsters in here, some of those ash spawn that attack me any minute. But that there's also a basement in here or something. Come on. None of those spells for you. Yeah, a lot of the combat here on Stolsheim, if you're not leveled up and you haven't been like ahead of your perks, it can be kind of tedious and stuff. And I haven't been, because I've been delaying my level ups. Yeah, here it is. So I'm not going to be staying here for long or doing a whole lot of fighting.
My nights have been impossible to bear without you. I beg of you, please depart that blasted isle and I knew it! Not good enough!
Is that good enough? Get some restoration going while I loot this place. Letter from Hroldolf to Bjorlin. Hroldolf, light and strength. I feel your words are not your own, and I worry dearly for your health. I beg you, please depart that blasted isle and return to solitude at once. My nights have been almost impossible to bear without you. To lose you would be the death of me. My love, if you do not return soon, I will come for you. I was kind of hopeful that one of those forks or knives was going to be the weapon one. Oh, not one gold necklace, but 2 gold necklaces. We got Mr. T here. Alright. They have a lot of books. Wabbajack. It's a weird sounding one. Killing before you're killed. That's the guy's journal. Scroll of Hysteria, that'll probably sell. Alright, and I thought, and I guess I was wrong, I thought that down here there was another mining node for that Heartstone stuff. And that'll become an important material in just a couple of minutes. But as it stands, I am just going to mosey out of here and start going cross country. Now, yeah, it'll probably be a little safer for me to just go down and hug the coast. A few less fights, I hope. Come on. Come on. Yeah, see, I'm doing fire damage to this guy. And I'm pretty sure he's either immune or they're heavily resistant. So the Dawnbreaker's power is wasted on that dude. I should have brought, I think it was the Silver Sword that had the Frost enchant. That's alright. When I come out here to actually start doing serious questing, I'll remember that. And that looked like something was moving in the water. But it could have just been the visual effects. Ooh, mage fight. Look at that. Oh, that guy got wasted. Well, we'll head over there and see what we find. And did the second one die too? I think they just killed each other. Just a fire mage and an ice mage having a fight. I don't know what the heck that thing was. There's no corpse I can loot, though. Huh. Well, yeah, looks like those two guys weren't part of a quest or anything. They're just a fire mage and an ice mage having a fight. And I'm just gonna run past. Oh. Is that like some weird skeleton? Yeah, it's one of those like zombies fighting those dumb little spider things. There's a lot of weird stuff out here on Stolzheim, so I'm gonna leave it alone for now. This is where I wanted to be. Tel Mithrin. Now let me see if I can.
Why are you out here? Master Neloth is away. Aren't you supposed to stay in the tower?
Oh, it's locked. All right, I think I gotta do something to get that guy to go back home. I think he's like off at that standing stone here, where all the people are mind controlled and brainwashed. So we'll go have a look over in this direction. Yeah, I think that guy's over here, like, studying the mind-controlled people.
That they have forgotten.
Here do we
You there.
toil,
You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others
that
here.
we might
Very
remember.
interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here?
I'm actually here to see you, but I'm going to say right now I'm looking for someone named Mirak.
By night we
Mirak,
reply.
Mirak. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite
What by
place...
day was
Oh, wait,
stolen.
I recall. But that makes very little sense.
Far from
Mirak's been
ourselves,
dead for thousands of years.
Has he? What does that mean?
he
I'm not
grows
sure,
ever near to us.
But it is fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there.
I will, but later.
Are we done? I thought so.
Now, I think that guy heads home, but I'm not 100% sure.
Nothing.
We don't get many visitors. Is there something you need?
What is this place?
Tel Mithrin. It's the home of Master Neloth. You may have heard of him. He's a famous Telvanni wizard. He's not here right now. I think he's in Raven Rock.
Are you one of his apprentices?
No, Talvis is his apprentice. I'm his steward. I manage the day-to-day affairs of Tel Mithrin.
He lives in a giant mushroom?
In Morrowind, the Telvanni grow buildings from special fungus spores. Master Neloth grew one here to be his home. Don't ask me how.
Lab is... I don't think you belong here. Does Master Neloth know about you?
Are you practicing a spell?
Yes. I'm trying to summon an Ash Guardian. I'm just having trouble deciphering Master Neloth's handwriting. I don't mean to be rude, but I need to concentrate.
Alright.
It's on your head if something goes wrong. Just let me get back inside
No
first.
Ash Guardian. Maybe the book has something.
Alright. The door's unlocked, so maybe the guy's back. And we'll float up. There he is. You, good sir.
You again. Didn't I see you in Raven Rock?
You did. What is this building?
This is a Talvanni tower. It's my citadel, grown from the spores of the giant fungus trees found in Morrowind. Back in the homeland, there are other Telvanni wizards that have them as well.
Well, I've heard of the House Telvanni of Morrowind.
Of course you have. Everyone has heard of the Master Wizards of Morrowind. We are one of the great houses that rule Morrowind.
You must be a very powerful wizard.
I am likely the greatest wizard you will ever meet. Who else do you think could create a staff enchanter? If you make yourself useful around here, I might just let you use it.
Well,
Where is that ash-sucking steward of mine? Verona?
can you train me in enchanting?
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I can. The question is, should I? I suppose if it's going to be done right, I'll have to do it.
He's an arrogant SOB, but we're gonna go with him.
I might have a few staffs, if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Now, oh yeah, sell Azura's Star, right. Now, one of the other things this guy has are these unenchanted staffs. And as you can see, they're very expensive. But I'm going to be coming back eventually when I've got more money and buying those from him. Right, now what are we doing here? I had quite a few levels banked up.
Now, if you're going to be up here, don't be ridiculous. The question is, should I? I suppose if it's going to be done right, I'll have to do it.
And did that level me all the way? It didn't, but that's okay. All right, and look at this. This place is a mess. All right.
How am I supposed to get it? I suppose I could dig up a staff or two for you.
So I'm just gonna buy. I'll buy it. They're all the same price, so I'm gonna buy an ebony one because I don't remember if
Finally, I can get back to work.
if the crafting of the staffs is linked to anything in particular. And there's actually a staff enchanter in that Wizard's Tower home that we unlocked outside of Morthal. So that was the whole point of going to Stolsheim, was to talk to that guy.
Business
Talk to
around
Captain
here.
Gallen.
I'm just a shipsmate.
All the people yelling at me. So the whole point of going there was to talk to that guy, unlock him as an enchanting trainer, and unlock him as a vendor for those unenchanted staffs. And you're going to see why in a second here. I think it's on the second floor. Unless it has been patched out, you gain a significant enchanting skill up from making one of these staffs. Alright. Oh, looks like there already is an unenchanted staff or two. Okay. And there's... Whoop. Brought me into the interface. And there's a bunch of these heartstones that are used in making the staffs. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another round of looting this place while I'm here. All the stuff here does slowly come back over time. Alright, so let's enchant a staff. $800 for Ebony Staff of Fury. Staff of Fury looks like it's worth quite a bit. You can see that's pumping my enchantment up pretty good. Alright, I guess that's all I can make there for now. I guess this lockbox, I'll use this to store the extra heartstones. This is the only place I will ever use them, so I'm just going to leave them here. And I'm going to do a little bit of looting while I'm in the area. Oh, this stuff hasn't grown back yet? Yeah, okay, there's creep cluster. I was gonna say, I thought there was some stuff here. I don't think I picked up anything that can be disenchanted. Nope. Never hurts to check. Alright, now let's go over here and grab all kinds of stuff. Okay. I think that was some deer hide. There we go. I was kind of hopeful for some netch leather or something over there, maybe. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, this place has a lot of good stuff. A lot of those items will respawn over time. You know, it's a pretty significant delay of in-game time, but it will come back. So it never hurts to stroll through here periodically and loot the place. And really, the only thing I'm going to be using Mirrorwatch for on this character is just really that staff enchanter and some of this respawning stuff. Honey's good. What I would love to find is a plate full of tomatoes. I'll just take all that. It comes back later. Take some pie. Nice. Look around in here. Any more tomatoes, maybe? Stall rim. That's very useful later on. I won't be able to do anything with it just yet. Oh, you know, that's another thing. I'm going to check while I'm here. I believe that the forge here inside of Mirrorwatch, up on the second floor, counts as all of those special forges. Yeah, all forge. So you can use this for making stuff like crossbow bolts and all that. That's normally only available I don't think I've unlocked the recipe, but stuff like crossbow bolts, you can normally only make it at Fort Dawnguard. You can make them here. There's some of the other like specialty things that can only be forged in particular places can be forged here. But I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. Oh, I can make Nordic stuff now. Alright. Don't have any Quicksilver, but it's good to know that I can. Alright, anyway. We're going to get out of here. We'll head back to the farm. Now, what did that bring us up to? Like level 20? Yeah. Oh, we've got a bandit quest. And it's actually just north of our farm. How convenient. I can't fast travel and there are enemies nearby. Oh, this thing again? Oh, I didn't want to... Well, alright, that's fine. Oh. It really just wanted me to wait until that animation was done. What a game. Oh,
I've been
courier.
looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar. The owner is asking me to hand out invitations to travelers. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I don't really care about the museum in Dawnstar just yet. So I'm just depositing a bunch of crafting materials here. Stuff that I don't really need quite yet. And I'm going to break some of those pelts down into leather. Okay. Deposit all that. Leather does, the weight of it does add up over time. Alright, now, I grabbed a bunch of alchemy ingredients that I'm sure I've never touched before, so I'm going to go through and do a round of this. There we go. And anything I can cook. Oh, that's actually not bad. What I'm really looking at is vegetable soup. Alright. Only got 3 tomatoes. Did any respawn? Huh? Alright. Never hurts to check. Alright, so this is where all the food went. Come on. Dump all this stuff. Dumping out some of these soul gems. And I think I saw some netch leather that I had forgotten to leave over here. No, it was chitin plate. There it was. Okay. So now, we are going to be heading north to clear out that little dungeon that we have the bounty thing for. And at some point I'll go through and finish the quest to atone for my sins. Oh, what is this? Are these guys all going to hunt that giant? They are. They're going to hunt those giants, plural. Alright, well, I'm just not going to get involved in that. And that looks like it's a bit of a cliff. Here's another giant thing. We'll avoid him for now. No need to pick a fight with a giant. And I don't think I've ever been up to this place, so I have no idea how to get here. Maybe it's right here around the corner, and we're going to be that lucky? Yes. I like it when it turns up like that. Alright, anything out here to do real quick before we go in? Does not look like it. Sometimes there's like a little guard or some ore or something like that. Alright, so this was just
Someone there?
bandit bounty.
I'll try and make this quick.
Thank you. You indeed made your death very quick.
Looks like we got ourselves a hero.
Do you?
Skyrim belongs to the Nords.
I'm going to line of sight you over here. How's that sound?
I can stab you in the back.
Okay. Alright, bandit. Oh. Got a nice journal. We'll take that. Axe of Scorching. That'll sell. Anything else in here worth looking at? Another bandit. Why didn't you come up top? Yeah, die in the fire. Let's grab some of these mushrooms while we're in here. Alright. A satchel with a lockpick. I'll take the lockpick. Doesn't really look like there was anything else going on in here. Scroll of Mayhem, that'll sell. Boots of Eminent Sneaking. Oh, not just regular sneaking. Oh, you know what? I think I might have sold Movarth's boots. It's fine, though. Alright, let's go collect our reward. We're taking out those bandits. High Moon Hall. I'm gonna bug you in the middle of the night.
If you've business with the Jarl, I'd ask that you speak to me first.
The bandit leader at Oratheim is dead, and I'm here for the bounty.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here's your reward. I'll take my leave then.
100 for that. 100. That was a pretty wimpy bounty. I'm probably going to make more off of, like, selling the junk that I found there. Speaking of which, I do still have a whole bunch of gems and whatnot that I got to dump. You know what? It occurs to me, I haven't looked around in the Winking Skeever.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything, or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
Yeah, I'm just here to look for...
I have no business with you.
Yeah, good.
Leave me.
I'm not here for you either. I'm here to look for little notes on the counter.
You look like someone who can hold their liquor.
Thank you.
How about a friendly contest to win a staff?
Friendly contest to win a staff. Alright, well, I'll do that in a moment. Don't mind me. I'm just poking around looking for those little quest start journals. That occasionally show up all over the place here. In an inn this size, you'd figure there's gotta be one. Oh, and there's a third floor. Oh, didn't mean to wake you up, buddy.
We drink to our youth, to the days come and gone.
Oh gosh, you're gonna
For the
sing.
age of aggression is just about done. We'll drive out the storm cloaks and restore what we own. With our blood and our steel, we will take back our home.
All right.
Down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death, we will drink and we'll sing. We're the children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies.
Yeah, that's great. Nice little song.
But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Ah, the Restless. Okay, here's one. Taking is not stealing. All right. Find a pirate's corpse in the dungeon. All right, well, I'll worry about that later on.
Down with Ulfric, the killer.
I mostly just wanted to poke around in there. I was sure that there had to be one in an inn that size. You know, one of the new Creation Club things. And of course, Bits and Pieces is locked because it's first thing in the morning. Oh, I still got to go do that drinking contest. All right, well, let me cash out here first.
What do you need? Some might call this junk. Me? I call them treasures.
All right, come on. Buy all of my junk. Oh, it's right. I got all that bone mold stuff. I will probably sell that to the blacksmith.
Come back to Bits and Pieces anytime.
I will.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften.
All right, let me go get this out of the way.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything.
This one's a
I think
favorite
I got a
of
clean
mine.
mug around here somewhere.
A legend.
If
we
you're
all
looking
know
for a
and love.
challenge, you've come to the right place.
You don't stand a chance.
Ha! We'll see about that. This is a special brew. Very strong stuff. Let's get started.
With a voice wielding power of the ancient.
If you need a good rumor, I'll start round one. I think I down the hatch.
I wish there was a way to get those people to stop singing.
It's an end to the evil.
Feel free to make requests. You should think about staying the night.
Your turn.
Corpulus.
Here we go.
Clean in.
One down, my friend. One down. And another one for me.
Drinking contest with a drunk. Well, I have a secret.
How about you? So says you. I think I've hit my limit on these things. Tell you what, one more and you win the contest.
All right, well, you offered me a staff, and
Wow.
I've got healing
You've
spells.
really done it. The staff is yours.
Thrash grape.
You know, you're a fun person to drink with. I know this
This one's a
great
favorite
little
of
place where the wine flows like
Legend we all
water.
know and
We
love.
should head there.
Hey, you don't look so good.
Oh, come on, tell me I was poisoned.
That's right. It's time to wake up, you drunken blasphemer.
Wait, what? Blasphemer?
I see. So, you don't remember fondling the statuary, then? I'm guessing you also don't remember coming in here and blathering incoherently about marriage or a goat. Which means you don't remember losing your temper and throwing trash all over the temple.
Well, what? Was there a man named Sam with me?
DeBella teaches love and compassion, but that doesn't mean we're just going to tell you what you want to know and let you walk away from this.
Oh,
Pick
come
up
on.
your mess, then apologize. And if we think you're sincere, we'll consider lending you aid.
Pick up my mess. What's my mess? It's... Alright, if I touch anything in here, it's gonna, like, count as stealing. What's this? We need the following to our Prayer of the Broken Staff. Giant Toe, Holy Water, Hagraven Feather. Alright, well, let me just... I gotta make amends with you.
When you've cleaned up your mess.
Tell me how I got here, and I'll pay for the damages.
Well, we can always use contributions. You were ranting when you got here, but most of it was slurred. You did say something about Rorikstead. Maybe you should take a look there.
Okay, where am I? Alright, so we wandered around to the Temple of Diabella. I don't know if I've ever been in here. Markarth? Thought we were in Solitude. Yeah, I don't, wow, okay. That's certainly interesting. I haven't been to Markarth on this character before. Well, we've been going for a while now. I guess I'm going to find out about marriage and a goat a little bit later on. But for now, we are going to call this an episode. So, as always, thanks for watching.